Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. So Evelynn is kind of like an awkward spot in the meta. Evelynn is one of the three new champions, and I feel like most people probably agree that Evelynn is probably the weakest out of Gwen, Kai'Sa, and Evelynn. And unfortunately, I think we're all kind of struggling to find like really good Evelynn decks. I know some folks have been looking at data. I know there was a Master Runeterra article by General Schwartz who gave like a bunch of Evelynn decks. So myself, I'm still experimenting with it. So the best Evelynn decks that I have found are the one that I showcased a few days ago, right? Evelynn Poppy, because you get a lot of value from Poppy and Dawn Speakers and Sculpture. There's also an Evelynn Shurima deck that just plays Evelynn Mono Shurima and relies on Voice of the Risen to kind of, because Evelynn levels up so quickly, so Voice of the Risen levels up, activates really quickly. And then the third one is this one that I was looking through. I was looking through the stats, looking for an Evelynn deck, and I found this really interesting Evelynn Viego deck, and this is what I'm going to showcase to you today. So the synergy with Evelynn Viego is that if you have a Husk on the field, for example, and you summon Viego, the Viego will get the health from the Husk dies, and you get an encroaching miss right away. And Viego doesn't hate having that extra health. So that's really the basic synergy there. Obviously, you have some other synergies with domination, being able to give all your one-cost allies +1. So this works both with the Husk, but it also works with the encroaching miss because the encroaching miss are considered one-cost allies. So that's kind of where the synergy lies there. So you're able to get kind of a lot of value from just working towards a Viego level up, while also kind of just putting a lot of pressure through the opponent because of all the keywords and random units that you get from all the Husk and the Evelynn package. At the end of the day, it's still a Viego deck, so a lot of times you're still just winning through grinding them out and just leveling up Viego and not having a big Hadrobyne. But aside from that, it's just, kind of playing that Evelynn package. Now, not sure how great this deck is, but I have been having mid success with it. I think I was able to climb. I dropped all the way to Plat 4 while I was testing other decks, and I was able to climb back up to Plat 3. So, at least it got me 100 LP. So it could be interesting. Now, the rest of the deck is just kind of working with that package. So I like the Bark Beast because the Bark Beast also synergizes with the Husk. As soon as you summon the Bark Beast, it gets triggered right away. So you end up with a 3/4 Bark Beast on the field that has a keyword as well. So it's nice, simple synergy there to trigger the Husk and get a big, nice unit on the field for one cost. Glimpse, standard, hate spike. I do feel like I was running pretty low on removal. So I like the idea of running hate spike, bow feast, and then obviously double vengeance, and even 2 thread the needles, right? So the hate spike is really good because you can sacrifice your encroaching miss to just deal 2 damage. Obviously the bow fist is just bow fist. Thread the needle same way. Once your encroaching miss get bigger and bigger, you can actually sacrifice them to pretty much kill an opponent's unit, and then vengeance is pretty straightforward. Then from the Evelynn package, we are playing kind of the full units. So triple Soldier, triple Domination, triple Bora, and then we're only playing 2 Solitude, right? So this gives us a lot of units that are summoning Husk that can then synergize with Viego, which can end up being really, really good in that regards. Obviously, we play Camera Soldier because of the Viego package together with the Hadrobyne. Those are the 2 ways that you get those encroaching miss and just buff them up to be able to just do a ton of damage and make the miss bigger and bigger and potentially level up the Viego. I am playing 1 Come and Dragon, and the reason for that is that you're able to strike, right, the Husk, you're able to strike your own encroaching miss. So this becomes right away a 5/5 Dragon with Fury and Fearsome, which ends up being really, really good in my opinion. You're also going to drain 1 from the Nexus, so it's kind of nice. I also felt like I was kind of running short on units, so I ended up putting the Dragon so that we could have 27 units and then just 13 spells. It's possible that it might actually be correct to play 2 of these. I just don't know what I would cut. Maybe 1 Soldier or something else. But again, I feel like I don't want to cut any units. I feel like if I was to add another Dragon, I'd probably just cut either 1 Thread the Needle or 1 Hate Spike. And then obviously the man of the show himself, Viego, which is what this whole deck is built around. Again, the deck is very grindy. It just kind of plays really slow towards that Viego level up condition and just tries to get the value from Evelynn just putting so much pressure and buffing up the rest of your units with your health. So enough of that. I hope you enjoyed the games coming up soon. And as always, if you like the content, please make sure to subscribe below and like the video below. We post LOR videos every single day. So, that way you never miss out on any of our contents. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. Here in this match, we'll be going against Twisted Fate Annie, which is a very bad matchup for us because they have a lot of removal, right? So we're not able to Man, the Hadrobyne is good, but I don't want to draw 2 of them because I feel like it's going to break us The glimpse, I think, is good because there's going to be a lot of times where we can just get value from the glimpse when the opponent commits. Okay, double glimpse is a punish. The glimpse is good when the opponent will have committed, right? We can just play on curve, right? We can play Bark Beast, Soldier, Bora. That will still trigger the Bark Beast. So glimpse to kind of stop like any value. Opponent didn't get any Conservatory in turn 1, which is good for us. Yeah, I like the Soldier. Opponent could make a rain here, which would be kind of annoying. What if we do the Soldier first? If he's making rain, I was gonna say, if he's making rain, he has to hit exactly the Bark Beast, right? And he also hits the Husk. So we're definitely gonna go Soldier now. What a make it rain. I feel like I always lose. Like whenever I play against this deck, I feel like I'm always losing to like a random make it rain like that. That just gets so much value. Because the Husk only have 1 HP, right? There could have been a lot of different ways for us to kind of be able to stop his stuff, right? I know this is going to not be vulnerable to a flock, but I don't think I care about this dying. Again, the problem that I have now is that I guess we have double glimpse, so we do have access to be able to like recover our hand. We are going to get Evelynn leveled up next turn. We can do Bora into Evelynn next turn. I'm okay blocking this. I don't want to take that shit damage. I'm going to pass because the opponent has Twisted Fate mana. And I don't want to lose the Husk to the Twisted Fate, right? Spell Shield is huge. That's going to give Spell Shield to the Evelynn. Spell Shield is huge. So now Evelynn has Spell Shield, which means that she will not die. Or at least not be vulnerable to the opponent's spells just yet. Evelynn levels up. The opponent still has a ton of mana. Evelynn doesn't really get to attack here though, because she doesn't really have any keywords that really matter. So, okay, he gets to remove the spell shield. Gets to remove the spell shield. Do we just attack with Evelynn now and just call it a day? I don't think we do. I think I'm okay with him removing the spell shield. We keep the mana for the glimpse. So opponent's still gonna have to commit 2 things to be able to stop this Evelynn. I guess if he has the Twisted Fate. Oh, Nakaboros. I really don't want to give him value from Flock if we attack with Evelynn. Like I want the opponent to have to commit 2 things, right? Like I guess we could glimpse the Husk and get Fearsome. But the opponent's still able to block here. I still feel like it's probably better to go ahead and do the glimpse now. I feel like I want to try to draw into something better, but then I lose blockers, right? So I think I'm going to glimpse this now while I have the chance. It's a free glimpse. We get another glimpse and a Soldier, so we end up not drawing anything that we really need. Do we attack with the Evelynn right now? That doesn't feel correct to me. Because then we give him value for the Flock, and I don't want to let him get value from Flock. I wish we had like Viego here. This would be so good, right? With the elusive, but instead we end up getting a Soldier. Now, by us doing the glimpse last time, we were able to keep our Evelynn leveled up. That's something that I actually didn't notice was going to happen. So accidentally made things work, right? We can do the Soldier, allowing us to have a blocker for the Sap. It just doesn't feel great. Like, it doesn't feel great eating up the elusive here. But since the opponent ended up summoning an elusive unit, I think it's okay. Because if the opponent attacks with the Sap, we can always Bow Feast, right? He still wants to get value from Flock. Like, the fact that they're attacking like this, it could also be Disintegrate. So it never makes sense to actually take that block, right? With Evelynn. I feel like we just block with the Soldier and call it a day. Sure. We can always Bow Feast to get rid of one of his units. This is scary. But I mean, their tie book is very delayed. We just need to draw Viego. But even if they draw Viego, I feel like the opponent hasn't really used any of their removal. Our hand is just a little bit awkward. We have the vengeances for the tie book at least, which is not it's not bad, to be honest. It's just a little bit too awkward. I'm gonna go ahead and just Battle Feast this one, by the way, just in case that the opponent has another I9 Akaboros. I don't want this to become a big unit. We got another Husk at the beginning of the turn, but we don't have any units. This is the awkward part with Evelynn sometimes, right? If you don't get any units, because you need to actually play. It doesn't trigger on summon. It has to be just play. If it trigger on summon, I think Evelynn could have a lot more different decks. I want the opponent to commit something so that I can glimpse, because I feel like I want to get this glimpse out of my hand. Could be Hydroban, it could be Viego, but we have 28 cards, so it's 6 out of 28. Our odds are not looking great. I'm scared of doing the glimpse now because he just gets interrupted by everything. So we can't even glimpse right now, which means that we don't even get any, unless we top deck a unit. And we top deck the unit that we're looking for. So now the Viego also triggers the miss right here. He gets tough. I mean, he really has Fearsome, unfortunately. And he also gets 7 health, right? Oh, it didn't trigger it because the board was full. There's a bug right now that if the board is full, when you have Husk, it won't trigger play abilities, right? Yeah, that's a smart one. That's a smart one there to stun. Sure. This is rough now, huh? Because I still don't want a glimpse. So the opponent, that way the opponent got himself a Fearsome blocker. This has tough, which is actually really good, right? Because this is going to get bigger and bigger. Opponent's going to try to Death Hand. So they're going to have what? They're going to have to have access to Push Earth. If that's the case, do we just glimpse right now to at least get value? Let's glimpse right now, right? I feel like I glimpse right now to at least get the miss value. Because if opponent's going to have Score Sheriff anyways, that's fine with me, right? Opponent's always going to get access to the Score Sheriff right here. So I'm okay doing this. I just want to be able to get some draw. This will have to be a second Blaze Edge, right? Doesn't hit the Maker Rain. Doesn't hit the Maker Rain, right? So that's good. We get the value here from the Viego. We have the Haste Spike, which should let us summon another one. Opponent can block this here, but I'm not too scared of that. This still goes up to this still stays at 4, so it's out of range for Flock. I guess opponent could have Tybo plus Flock, and that could be the scary part here. Yeah, so this no, the Flock is not enough. Tybo only takes the Flock to 5, and we still have the Viego tough, right? So what does he do here? Is it just Tybo and calls it a day? Again, Score Sheriff is kind of scary, right? Score Sheriff is actually really scary. Again, unfortunate part where we don't have a unit. Unfortunate part where we actually do not have a unit. Do we just Battle Feast this? And do we just Battle Feast here? Give ourselves a blocker? But then that means that we don't have space in the future. We could just Battle Feast here instead, to be honest. Start making ourselves the space. Because I feel like at this point, I'm a little bit short on space. We could Haste Spike instead. Kind of accomplishes the same thing. Opponent could interrupt the Hate Spike. Opponent could interrupt the Haste Spike, right? But if they interrupt the Haste Spike, it accomplishes the same thing as doing the Battle Fish in our own unit. So I think it's going to be the Hate Spike here. Perfect. We get rid of the Elusive. Get another Husk, and also get the Encroaching Miss. We can just Vengeance this big boy here, so that we don't take any damage. Which I think is correct. I think it's correct to just Vengeance this right now. But once again, we don't have any units. But now, Opponent has a fearsome blocker with the House Spider. We can give the Evelynn the spell shield. Where are our units? Literally any unit here would be pretty nice on the top deck. Please. Please, give me a unit. Ay, ay, ay. This is rough. This is really rough. What if we battle Feast first? Get rid of his fearsome blocker. I really don't want to attack into this House Spider because then he puts up Viego in range, right? Wow. I guess we should play more units in this deck, huh? A situation like this feels really, really bad. We already used all 3 glimpses, so it's not like we're going to be able to draw anymore in this game. So I hope he's going to be leveling up Viego. And that's looking not great at the moment. We also don't getting any value from Evelynn. He gets to refill his hand while still having another fearsome blocker. Which is a little bit unfortunate. A little bit unfortunate here. What if we let the Evelynn die? What if we let the Evelynn die? Is that enough to get us to our level of Viego? I don't think it is. Man, this is so bad. If we had any other unit here, we got pushed so much, right? Because of the Overwhelm Spell Shield, the Husk will both die, and we're able to summon a miss. We could have double flock. The Tough is putting in a lot of work at least, right? So at least the Tough is putting in a lot of work. I'm okay to attack with Evelynn. The opponent kills the Evelynn, it's just getting our Viego. It's getting our Viego close. I think at this point I have to just pray for the Viego win condition. I just have to pray for the Viego win condition and call it a day. If the opponent gets the score shirt, then they have it. I can't do anything about it. Decides not to kill anything, which means that we don't get any value here. We still have the elusive. Don't think it's correct to thread the needle. We have blockers for both his units, so I'm not too concerned. The opponent has access to block. Potentially. We lose another Husk. This always dies to a... Wow. Too many spells, not enough units, huh? So let's change that up before we queue up to the next game. Let's actually... Maybe we get rid of the Allure. I mean, the opponent knows we have a blocker here. Sure. That just gets me more value. We pass. This goes to 12. Gets another conservatory potentially. Oh yeah, this is not looking great. This is not looking great. Oof. There's so much value being lost here. At least we get some value here now. So once again, Viego is not threatening the level up. Because the opponent's gonna attack the block, right? We have the spell shield on the Evelynn. We can actually level up Viego with Thread the Needle, because this is gonna go up to 17. So we can level up Viego. But I still don't even know that's enough. Now that the opponent has a second tie book, right? Second tie box means that it's gonna be very, very difficult for us to really get any damage through. Yes, I fight. Do we lose? Do we sacrifice the Evelynn here? I guess that's my other question. Like, is it actually correct to sacrifice Evelynn? Kind of feels like she's gonna die anyways. I guess we can just go Thread the Needle, or we can Hate Spike, right? We can Hate Spike. Because sacrificing the Evelynn gets us there, because this the miss is only getting us to 17. So we probably want to sacrifice the bark beast instead.
The waiting. Is this what agony?
So we're probably gonna have to sacrifice the bark beast instead. I mean, if the opponent goes like this, I guess we just level up Viego. Unless the opponent just has the score sheriff right here, which they do. So they end up with the score sheriff regardless. They held it on the whole game. And that means that we lose the game. How do we win this now? We can hate spike here. We can hate spike here, get rid of that unit. The Evelynn pushes some damage through. There's no way for us to level Viego unless we commit a double thread the needle, which I think is a mistake. So I think we have to just go like this. We can thread the needle, the encroaching miss, but then it loses to a flock. So that's my only concern there with doing the thread the needle here. That's really so. They were just holding on to the score sheriff the whole time. This is so close, but I also feel like it's not close at all. I feel like they're winning. They're beating us really heavily right now, because we have a really low value hand, and we're not getting enough value from. Like, we will need to top deck another Viego or the Hydrovine for us to have a chance. We're at least able to get rid of their units, which is not the end of the world. Regeneration would have been really good, by the way, like any other time earlier in the game. The flock is able to actually kill this, which is why I'm a little bit scared of doing Thread the Needle. Because of the value that he can get with flock here. We need the Vengeance for the Tybalt. I think we have to go like this. Get rid of the elusive. Opponent could flock this because this is done. But if the opponent's committing flock here, it means that they don't have the flock for the Evelynn, right? So if the opponent commits the flock right here, they don't have the flock for the Evelynn. But now the opponent's going to have double Tybalt, so a red card would be crazy. Okay, so at least we get some value here with the needle. If opponent has a card that can trigger the conservatory, they should do it now. Because now they're going to have to commit an action, right? Now they're going to have to commit an action to actually summon the Tybalt. Which means that, just like that, he gets punished. Because then we're able to do the invasive Hydrovine. And have enough blockers, right? This has regeneration and tough. Now, again, the double Tybalt is pretty doomed for us though, right? Double Tybalt is pretty crazy. Double Tybalt is pretty crazy because now all of the opponent's spells are dealing just so much damage. We can kill the Annie, by the way, by blocking with the Barf Beast because he has Spell Shield, so it doesn't, like, her skill doesn't do anything, right? I think that's correct. I think we can sacrifice the Encroaching Miss into the Tybalt. Maybe we don't need to actually use the Vengeance just yet. But what are we keeping the Vengeance for, if not this turn? So we can go like this, especially now that the opponent decided that they're just going to attack with the... They didn't attack with the Spiderling. So here we kill both his whole board, pretty much. They could try to flock this, right? To keep the Annie alive. See, so they can flock the Bark Beast, right? But again, that's one less flock that goes to the Evelynn. Does the regeneration trigger? Like, will the regeneration trigger before she loses it? Because Evelynn loses the keywords, right? Oh wow, so they decided to let go of their Annie, which tells me that they definitely have access to a way to kill Evelynn, right? Or a way to kill the Hydrovine. Either way. But if they have a way to kill the Hydrovine, they need to do it right now. So it's going to be Disintegrate then, right? Yeah, it's going to be Disintegrate. Do we thread the needle just so that we get rid of the blockers? Might as well get some value from the Hydrovine, right? We don't have any other unit that we want to use this on later down the line. It makes sense. The Hydrovine is the biggest problem that the opponent has. Does he regenerate? If he regenerates, that's huge. It did regenerate. So now the Evelynn is not vulnerable to anything. And here we have Quick Attack as well. which means that the opponent is not able to actually block the Evelynn. Ah, they get the draw. They get the draw and we don't get it. Unfortunate. Well, we have used Solar Glimpse already, so it makes sense. We need a second Hydrobind. Viego also is okay because the myths are pretty big, so it has to be Viego. The quick attack here lets me at least be able to push damage. When it could have the Riptide Rats, but they cannot use the Riptide unless they get a damage to our Nexus. But again, the double Tybook is just miserable. Like, everything is just dealing so much damage. Like, even a Death Hand is actually crazy here. Yeah, like that. Like, a Death Hand is pushing 4 damage, right? I'm pushing 3 to the Nexus. Okay. So Death Hand is literally able to kill my unit and push 3 damage to the Nexus, which is nuts. We can block with Evelynn next turn at least. Opponent's gonna even draw more now. What we can hope for, we can hope that the opponent decides to open attack, right? So we can hope that the opponent decides to open attack, and if he does, if the opponent open attacks, they get punished by the Vengeance. Because that way they won't be able to trigger the Riptide Rats. Yep, and there you go. They go for it. So they have Riptide Rats. 100% they have Riptide Rats. Let's go like this. So I'm like 100% positive they have Riptide Rats. So now I'm forcing them to have to commit a Death Hand or a second Blaze Edge to actually trigger their Rats. Could they have it though? Could they have it? The problem is that if the opponent has the Riptide Rats, we always lose anyways, right? So I think we have to commit this right now. If the opponent has the Riptide Rats, we're always losing anyways, because each of the Rats cannons is doing 4 and doing 3 to the Nexus. So we can't just rely on just Evelynn being the only one here. So there he goes. Death Hand or Blaze Edge into Rats. What we can hope for is that it hits enough of our units so that we don't die. That hits everything except for the miss, is my hope. It can hit the Hydrobind once, I guess. So if it hits the Hydrobind once, hits this. Another Disintegrate. Oh, that's gross. Make It Rain is also crazy. Make It Rain is dealing 3 damage, so we can kill the Evelynn. Oh, this is gonna be gross. Oh, okay, so we just lose the whole board. We just lose the whole board, okay. So they have the Blaze Edge. If the opponent didn't commit the Blaze Edge, that tells us that they don't have the Riptide Rats. So I can assume that they don't have Rats. So now it's just a Teleport board. Opponent has 1 card. Opponent has 2 cards. We only have 1 card. That's huge. Opponent needs to respond to this because this is lethal. We got there? Did we actually get there? Woo! What did they have? Because if they have the Rats, they can summon the Rats to block. What did they have in their hand that they couldn't summon a unit? Flock? Scorched Earth, I'm guessing? Another Flock, another Scorched Earth? GG's. Wow, what a game. This was way too long. This was way too long. But I think we definitely need to change this up to have more units in our deck. GG's. Here, we're up against the most famous deck at the moment, which is Yasuo Katarina. I mean, I say that kind of chicken tone, right? I think this deck is really, really fun and actually really, really strong. Also, by the way, I love this emote. Okay, we get the Evelynn, which is pretty nice. Hate Spike is good against Katarina. Glimpse might be the only aqua one out here. So we can keep the Soldier because he works towards our Viego. Thread the Needle to kill a Yasuo potentially if things get spicy. We don't have to summon the Soldier anymore. We can go for the board on turn 3. Honestly, Katarina is a really key part of this deck, so I want to make sure that I'm able to kill that Katarina as soon as she comes down. So that's what the Hate Spike is here to do. Sure. We can go like this. Have our Evelynn level up. Have our Evelynn level up. We get another Husk, which means that we can summon the Soldier on the future turn after that. It said actually Domination instead of Evelynn. No, I like the Evelynn. He also keeps me mana efficient. I like the Evelynn. It gives Evelynn quick attack as well, by the way, which is really powerful in this matchup. I guess the opponent is always gonna have stuns, but at least that way we're forcing the opponent to have to actually stun the Evelynn to deal with her. I guess what we could do, yeah. So that's the stun. Cool, cool.
I dare you.
Do we Battle Feast now? Just so that we have blockers. I like it. I like the Battle Feast now, just so that we have a blocker for the Blade Twirler. If you want to flock her twice, that's okay with me. Because now we know that your Flux is out of the way, and if we ever get Viego, you don't have a way. Yeah, okay. He's not going to have a great way to deal with Viego now, right? Or even the Hydrovine. So I think we win the late game war now, because the opponent just committed both Flux on Evelynn, which honestly, Evelynn is good, but she's not the reason why this deck does well. So I'm not too concerned about the Evelynn, to be honest. So we can just go like this, just block this way. Now opponent could have the landmark here, which should be annoying. Okay, that's pretty good for them. What if we just thread the needle? What if we just thread the needle and force the opponent to have the Nullify? Doesn't have it. So we get to Phantom block and also keep our blocker. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. And then next so we can do the counter soldier and start working towards a Hydrovine. Or do we want to keep the spell shield for the Hydrovine? Oh, that's so tempting. I think it's actually spell shield on the Hydrovine seems pretty nice. Ha! Spell shield on the Hydrovine looks pretty good to me. Because, I mean, he already committed double Flock, so... But that also saves the Hydrovine against random stuff like Homecoming. We don't mind sacrificing the Domination, to be honest. And if opponent doesn't open, we can just Hydrovine. Yeah, I definitely like this spell shield here. Opponent could have the Natsa stuns that stuns the whole board. That could be a problem here. And if they do, we're gonna have to probably just kill the Sentry with the Hate Spike. So the Roar, right? The Threatening Roar is the 5-mana Natsa spells. But it doesn't stun the Hydrovine anyways. It doesn't even affect her because it only stuns stuff that have 4 or less health. 4 or less attack, I think, right? A strategic execution. So, do we commit the Hate Spike now? What if we don't? I don't think the Hate Spike is necessary just yet, right? I don't think the Hate Spike is necessary just yet. We can summon a second Hydrovine next turn. I think is better. Oh, okay, okay. So we can do the Hate Spike to Phantom block then, right? Or do we just take this damage? Because we can always do the Hate Spike to Phantom block. And I actually like it, right? We can go like this. They also gives me another Husk, which is gonna trigger our Hydrovine. So this gives us the option. Okay, well, we're definitely going Hydrovine, right? We're definitely going Hydrovine. He also gives me all the blockers that I need for next turn, right? So the Hydrovine is able to give us 2 blockers here. Opponent's Yasuo is not leveled up yet. The Hydrovine goes to 8 HP. Opponent needs to start blocking, and we get 2 miss to be able to block with on the next turn. So we go like this. If opponent doesn't block, they take 13. They could have the stun here. The concussive palm. But I like the Hydrovine over the Evelynn just so that way we have blockers for the next turn. Because opponent's kind of getting a little bit scary. Wow, they just take 10 damage. Okay. So opponent's going to try to go all in for the Blade Twirler win condition and like a big stun, I guess. They could have... They don't have the landmark. Okay, I don't see how the opponent wins here, right? They would have needed to have the landmark because now we have blockers for days. And now we even have the Vengeance. We can summon another blocker with this. Do we have to kill this Yasuo now? I don't know if we do. I don't know if we have to kill Yasuo now. We can just do the vengeance in response, right? So now once the opponent commits the Guile, I'm gonna probably vengeance the Yasuo. Actually, we don't need to, right? We still have blockers for everything. I'm not in any threat until Yasuo levels up. If the opponent stuns exactly this miss, we can do the Soldier to replace it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. They're gonna lose their whole board. They're gonna lose their whole board here. Because they have to block both of these. Are we supposed to ever do this too, so that we just summon the third Hydroban on the field? I don't care about losing this girl, to be honest. That way we have all 3 Hydrobans in the field. But I mean, the opponent has to find a way to deal with this. The problem is the deny. The deny is kind of scary. We have enough for Vengeance plus the second Hydroban. Opponent has to block. He has enough Phantom blockers. Here, he has 2 favorable blocks. I don't think it's correct. I think we just go like this. Because opponent has to try to kill the Hydroban this turn, right?
Are you quite done?
Plays around... Okay, I thought he was going to try to play around the... Because opponent has to try to kill the Hydroban this turn, and they're going to try to do that by leveling up Yasuo, right? That's pretty good. That's very, very good.
Destiny waits.
So, does he commit the Guile right now? Let's say that he does. Let's say that he commits the Guile right now. We're gonna Vengeance the Yasuo. That way the Hydroban stays alive. Opponents need to have deny. There we go. So he does get to kill one Hydroban, gets to kill the second one. Actually, doesn't kill it because he's gonna target the encroaching miss. No. His thing triggers first, so he gets to damage this one. We still have 2 more. Oh, yeah, his thing triggers first because that one had 8 attack. Why did that one have 8 attack? I didn't notice why that was the case. Still have good blockers, I think. Oh, that one got 8 attack because of the domination. So yeah, it was always gonna target that one. That makes sense. We do get punished a couple of ways here. I would like to summon Evelynn. I would like to summon the Evelynn. We get overwhelmed? That's huge. Yeah, I think we go for the Evelynn, right? Don't think I'm still in a threat. Opponent does get access to Steel Tempest, which is huge for them. We can just pass here. We can just pass here. Opponent still has to block with everything. Oh, that's huge. So that should be game then, right?
You different.
This should be game. This even got the overwhelm as well. We have the Evelynn to be able to target whatever the opponent summons. Like if the opponent tries to kill the Evelynn, we're able to just win the game. Needs to have a stun here. Has a blocker here because of the Satan Thousand Tails. If we attack with everything, opponent is forced to block with everything, but they can kill the Hydroban with the Blade Twirler. They're always killing the Hydroban anyways. To percent lethal, we need to summon Deborah. So to percent lethal, we summon Deborah. This lets us percent lethal on the attack, forcing the opponent to block with everything. And again, we have the Evelynn. We have the Evelynn ability to be able to negate all enemy spells and skills targeting the Evelynn. So the opponent needs to target the encroaching miss, not the Evelynn, for them to win. Why is he not blocking Evelynn here? I guess he could block the Evelynn with the Blade Twirler and it's the same thing. They're gonna get punished. They're gonna get punished here. Okay, so they need to have another stun. They need to have another stun, or needs to have the deny. Needs to have another stun, or needs to have the deny. Do we keep the Hydroban alive? That's my question. Or do we have to kill the Yasuo now? I think we have to kill the Yasuo. This is lethal, so opponent needs to have deny, right? Opponent needs to have the second deny.
Unbearable.
Otherwise, they lose their Yasuo. We keep our board. Needs to have the second deny. I think it's correct to kill the Yasuo, because opponent could have like concussive palm, and concussive palm is not enough. If it's second deny, we lose. I think if it's second deny, we just lose, right? Wait, I think that's a mistake. I think opponent should just replay the second Yasuo. Wait, I think that's a really big mistake. Because this doesn't kill the Evelynn. We still stop the spell. Unless they have the second landmark. They will need to have the second landmark to regain that Yasuo. Oh, I think that was so greedy by them. I think that was way too greedy. I'm gonna just Solter now. That gives me a Phantom blocker for this unit. Because he's able to always stun the Evelynn, right? Because of the Windswept Haylock. Oh, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big Viego, guys. That's a pretty big Viego. That's a very big Viego. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until the next turn to summon him. Well, do we wait until the next turn to summon him, or do we just take the value now? Huh. Because what I want to do is try to get another miss so that we have 3 attackers, right? I want to get the miss on my attack. So I want to be able to get the 3 attackers. And here we go. Good thing we waited because we were getting punished by not joining a unit. So now we have 3 attackers because Viego's going to summon the miss. This Viego is like humongous. We have the Vengeance. We have the Overwhelm, the Evelynn. She also has Challenger, so we can challenge this Blade Twirler and go from there. We have the Vengeance, so the opponent has 1 more unit, but they need to have a stun for Evelynn, right? They need to have a stun for Evelynn because the Evelynn has Overwhelm, and we're also wider than them. So Evelynn has the Overwhelm, we're wider than them, and that's as good as he can get, huh? That's as good as he can get for them. Wow. That's huge. Strategic execution, huh?
I dare you.
Opponent obviously needs to block here. Do we just Vengeance this Blade Twirler right now? What do we lose to? The Might is not enough. We have a... Okay, well, no, we just Vengeance Yasuo. We lose to the Might. So the only thing we lose to is the Might. If the opponent has the Might, that's a problem. We're gonna lose our Evelynn right here. That's useless.
Let's make this a night to remember.
We lose. No, we don't. We don't lose. We don't lose. We don't lose, right? We can strike our own Evelynn. Viego levels up. We take his units. We win the game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. What a roll right there. So we take 5. We level up the Viego. We're down to 2 HP. Because the Viego levels up, we're able to steal his unit. And we open attack. Opponent could have access to stun, right? Opponent already committed 2 strategic executions. I think we domination because this gives us challenger. Opponent will have to have a strategic execution, which is not gonna make sense because we still also get the encroaching miss, right? So we ended up joining the unit. We're able to pull the Rose away. There's no stun here that can save him. Yeah, there's no stun here that can save him. We have just enough value. Wow. What a game. What a game this was. What a game. Woo! I almost thought we lost. I was about to render, so I'm so glad that I saw that line of being able to strike our own Evelynn with the Viego spell. Whew! GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Jinx Freljord, which I'm guessing is Poros, right? Do I need to keep a Vengeance for the Jinx? That seems a little bit too slow. That seems a little bit too slow. Ha. It's tempting. It's very tempting to keep a vengeance. They could be playing the new Freljord card as well. So maybe that's the only reason why we keep the vengeance. They could be playing the one that turns like one of your units into the Alpha Wild Claw. So maybe it is correct for us to keep vengeance, man. Because the opponent might try to hit us with a big open attack here, and we're able to just vengeance them. Yeah, they have the unit. They have the unit on the field. I want them to use it. I want them to use it, and then we can vengeance it. So if they have the Wild Claw thing... Oh, they don't have it. Okay. They do not have it. That's unfortunate for the opponent, because now we can just do this. We have blockers for all their units. Yeah, we let this go. And then we play Battle Feast. And now we heal it back up and still have blockers for all their units. So we block here, block here. Oh, they're gonna give us everything as well? Alright. Alright. I mean, I'm okay taking this, right? Unfortunately, we got punished and drew the second vengeance. So it's a little bit awkward here. Okay, well, we'll get the domination. So now we're able to actually still work on the Husk value here with the domination. Opponent goes for the Jinx. So the Jinx is a problem that we're going to have to deal with. The Solitude will be able to block her. Burrow. Let's just go for the Solitude. That way we're able to block the Jinx. We still have access for Haste Spike if we need to. Oh, we're gonna get an elusive lifesteal. That's gonna win us the game. Yeah, that's the Wild of Ferocity. Cool. We can just go here, right? We can just go here because we can always use the that way we can always use the Haste Spike. We take that way we take little damage, and that means that this is gonna be a 1, and the Haste Spike will be able to kill it. Obviously, we're gonna have access to the lifesteal, so I don't know how good that actually is. But our lifesteal here is not really great. It's better to do the Soldier so that this doesn't die to a Mystic Shot. That way we always have a constant presence of lifesteal elusive here. I think it's actually correct to do the Soldier. That way this is out of range of Mystic Shot or anything else. Right? So this is going to be out of range of Mystic Shot compared to the Domination. We still have access for Vengeance, which I think is the correct thing to do. To kill this Jinx. I don't want that Jinx to level up. I mean, she's going to level up regardless, but at least we can kill her right now before the opponent gets multiple drop from her. So we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just kill her now. I think this is the best time for me to use the Vengeance. When it could have a second Jinx right here, and I'm okay with that. We can always... We have blockers here. Okay, that's the second Jinx. So I'm surprised that the opponent didn't try to go for the level up. Viego is really good. So we can do Viego plus Hate Spike. Second Wild Claw. Really? I guess we have to Vengeance one of them then, right? We have to just Vengeance and go like this. What if we just go like this and just clear the whole board? I mean, we could just Hate Spike instead of Vengeancing. We could go like this. And then still summon the Viego. This takes us down to 9. Opponent will level up the Jinx. If the opponent has a way to block to kill this, then we lose that, right? So I think it has to just be the Vengeance and just save the Haste Spike for another turn. Or we can just go here. Yeah, we can just go like this, right? This keeps us at 15. Okay. So if they level up the Jinx, so they're gonna get a lot of value here. Maybe we have to just Vengeance that Jinx, to be honest. Maybe it had to be the Vengeance the Jinx and don't care about the Wild Claw. Because we're gonna have a blocker for the Wild Claw. So I think we get punished by not Vengeancing the Jinx. Because I think that's gonna be a lot of value that the opponent's gonna get. That we could have prevented. Because he's gonna be able to refill their hand multiple times now. Now we will get the Viego, which is kinda nice. Okay, we get a second Viego, so we'll be able to get it now, right? Because we can do... We gotta take 5 damage to the face, but at least we get rid of the Jinx, right? which is pretty good for us. Do we do it now? Opponent already used both of their spells, the Wild plus Ferocity. Okay, so we need to do it now. I'm gonna assume that the opponent has a unit in their hand and nothing else. I'm gonna assume that the opponent has a unit. Now, opponent just we died to double get excited. He gets the second. He gets the next Jinx. Wow. So now we just lose to the Jinxes, huh? Wow, what a roll. What a roll. What a roll. Now, he had to use that first because otherwise, obviously, he doesn't. So we lose to Mystic Shot. We lose to the opponent being able to do Jinx plus the thing. The Rocket. So it had to be the Vengeance last turn then on the Jinx and just take the damage from the Wild Claw. So we got through 3 Jinx and we're still gonna lose. Battlefield is not enough. Battlefield is not enough, unfortunately, right? Opponent could easily, if the opponent has just Mystic, it's okay. We know you have the Jinx, so what's the problem to not playing Jinx here? That's a mistake. Now the opponent needs to high roll exactly, get excited. Needs to be exactly get excited because we beat the Mystic Shot. And of course they have it. GG's. So he had already used one get excited, by the way. So I like my odds there. Unfortunately, okay. So I guess I see why, right? We knew that the opponent had get excited. Because if it was anything else, they would have just played the Jinx and just committed the spell. So GG's. Here we'll be going against another Eve deck. So this is gonna be Lucian Eve. So we just need to care about Lucian, not let the Lucian level up. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal, especially as we have Thread the Needle. Maybe a little bit too early for Thread the Needle, though. Because it does get punished by a lot of things that the opponent might have. Let's keep the Soldier. See if we draw, like, Hate Spike. Okay, Evelynn, this is a good curve now, right? Oh, this is a very good curve. So we can do Bark Beast, Soldier, Domination, Evelynn, and just play for the Evelynn Wincon. Oh, and then we also have Viego. Okay, this curve is nuts. This curve is nuts, and it's what this deck is made of, right? So now we can do Domination on turn 3, right? Which will buffer up to 2 HP and also trigger the Bark Beast. Then we do Evelynn on turn 4. Viego on turn 5. Sure. Challenger, that's a pretty good roll for them. Challenger is a good roll for them. Tough is a really good roll for Evelynn. I don't hate the tough. I don't hate the tough. You know what? Let's attack first before the opponent is able to summon their Evelynn. Opponent should always be going for the Evelynn here. And there he goes. So this way we're able to stop the Evelynn from blocking our attack, right? Yeah, so Evelynn's gonna go. He will get a big challenger here, so he will be able to kill our Evelynn. Actually, we have the tough. No, she still has enough attack, right? She still has enough attack. I still think it's correct to play the Evelynn. I still think it's correct to play the Evelynn. If the opponent wants to go ahead and kill our Evelynn in response, I'm okay with that because it puts the Evelynn at a lower value. Playing Evelynn right now also kind of gives us some value. The only problem, obviously, is that Evelynn levels back down. The downside here is not being able to play the Viego until after Evelynn dies. So the reason I like the Evelynn is because it gives us the Husk, right? Which puts our Viego at a really big spot. So opponent's able to kill Evelynn right here with their own challenger. But they still need to play a unit to be able to do that. Thread the Needle is a little bit too... not enough, right? I think we play for the Viego. The Thread the Needle is going to be good for later, but not right now. I think we play for the Viego. Get the Viego to 7 HP here. If it's Lucian, I'm in trouble. They always get the Lucian as well. Wow. So they did it that way so that their Lucian could be activated. so that the Lucian could have like more health, right? Oh wait, that's it? Wait, that's it? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's correct. I feel like you always challenge. I feel like you always have to challenge, right? I guess opponent could have single combat right here. But single combat still kills the Evelynn. I feel like opponent always have to challenge there. Because now he leaves us the Evelynn, which gives us the Husk value. So now we even have Overwhelm. Gets the spell shield, which is kind of annoying though. So we also have to watch out for our board space, right? If we play this, we only get to summon one. So it has to be Bark Beast, giving us access to Thread the Needle. Bark Beast gets triggered, Viego gets triggered, Evelynn gets triggered, and we have a pretty big attack here with a Viego that's going to be an 8-9. We're going to go ahead and just kill this Lucian before anything else dies. Because Lucian is a, 4. We just attack with everything, right? It's unfortunate, obviously, because we don't get the value from the encroaching miss. But I think this is correct. We have Fearsome, but the Fearsome doesn't matter. Opponent has enough blockers. Yeah, I think this is correct. This Lucian is more scary than the Evelynn. This Lucian is a lot scarier than the Evelynn. Wait, opponent, you lose. Wait, opponent. Opponent, this is 12. Opponent? Did opponent forget that we have lethal? Opponent didn't check the eye. Opponent didn't check the eye. That's a really funny. That's a funny deck, huh? With Unyielding Spirit. But I kind of feel like at that point you just put it on the Lucian, but maybe not actually, because the Evelynn just gives it so much value. But like if he puts on the Lucian there, assuming that he would have survived, which he wouldn't have, he would have leveled up Lucian, right? So GG's. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those games. I think we had a lot of fun with this deck. As you see, we had two very long games because of how grinding this deck is, right? It's just very, very grindy. Just trying to get there as soon as possible. It's crazy just that we got such long games this match. So unfortunately, couldn't showcase more than just 4 games. But at least you kind of get the idea of how this deck is supposed to work out. So hopefully you're able to try it out and also have some success if you like Evelynn. Because again, our girl Evelynn is kind of like in a very tough spot right now. I don't think she's getting a lot of love. So at least this way we have an alternative way to play her in this deck. Anyways, aside from that, in terms of mulligan, I definitely want to start up early, right? I definitely want to keep Viego, right? If you get Viego, you keep it in your hand because he's the man of the show himself. Same thing with Evelynn. I feel like you always want to keep your champions in this deck because you're able to really start working on their level up and progressing them really, really quickly. Aside from just the obvious champions, I like keeping the Counter Soldier. It's a nice way to start working on buffing up the Viego and gives us a lot of blockers and a nice unit in the game. I like keeping Bark Beast if I already have another Husk in my hand as well, right? So usually you want to keep Soldier. I want to keep at least one other unit that gives me a Husk, so whether it's Soldier, Domination, or Bora, but usually you only want to keep one. I wouldn't keep more than 2 of them, unless you're going against an aggressive deck where you want to have early blockers. If that's the case, then it's okay to keep multiple of your early units so that you're able to defend. But if we're able to keep one of the cards that provide us a Husk and have a Bark Beast available as well, we can start kind of to push some damage early on and then just try to work towards getting our Evelynn and our Viego in the field so that we can actually draw them and start winning the game from there. So yeah, that's my suggestions to mulligan. You can keep some of your other reactive spells depending on your matchup. Like Biofeast is really good against aggro. Haste Spike can be really good against certain units if you have something you can sacrifice. And Benjes can be really good against like Kaisa decks or other decks that rely on like a really big unit. As soon as you can sneak in that Vengeance before they can do the spell shield. But anyways, enough about that. As always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. We also stream on Twitch at Twitch Sirturmund. We stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.